So what happened yesterday?
I don't know what happened. We had an amazing time from 10 o'clock in the morning until 12 o'clock at night when we closed the doors. 14 hours of being Misameach, having a beautiful, wonderful Purim. People coming with all kinds of outfits, dressed up in all kinds of, just really a lot of original, wonderful things. And, our family, Shani, myself, the boys, we dress up every single year. It's weeks before we start thinking, what can we wear? Who can we be, and what can we do to my major objective is that when people come into our house, and, we put a sign, Zev, on the door early in the morning, door open, so nobody rings the bell or knocks. They just come in.
They just come right. You have an open house policy.
Oh, absolutely. And not just on Purim, but as you know, on weekends we have a lot of guests. Anyway, so, we get dressed up. My objective is that I get dressed up where when people come into our home, they'll stand next to me and ask me who I am. So, that's really the objective. And this year, I put together with I got different stuff from different people.
So who gave you the idea? Who gave you the idea? For this year's costume.
Nobody gave me the idea. It just came together. I wanted to be different. So many years. Every single year we do something, and we have a makeup artist who comes on Purim in the morning and spends hours making me up. Me, Shani, and Dioni and Shmuel, our kids, spends a lot of time doing this. Again, all in the spirit of Purim. Purim is that special day where, you do things that you don't do the other 364 days a year. It's all in the spirit of Purim. So I think I wanted to be a black athlete, even though I'm not. I'm not even a white athlete, to be honest. I play pretty good paddleball, but that's about it. But so, it was a combination, the makeup person, professional, did the makeup on my face. A good friend of the community gave me this afro here. It was a little out of date, I'm told.
Well, who in the community has an afro, by the way?
Well, I got it. I'm not going to mention names,
okay.
But this person called me tonight. I said, can I give you credit for all the material you gave me? He said, it's okay. You don't have to give me credit.
I think he said keep the afro, right? I don't want to.
Yeah. So I have the afro. I have this other piece, which is almost like a uniform. And then we did the makeup, and no one. I got to tell you, Zev, 14 hours yesterday, people coming to the house, hundreds and hundreds of people, all kinds of people, to be part of Purim. No one for a single moment, got excited or made comments, or no one thought, in terms of the outfit that I was wearing or that Shani was wearing. By the way, you know Shani, right?
Sure.
She's not the devil. She was the devil yesterday. She ain't the devil.
I think so. I think you discovered yesterday the devil's in the details.
Exactly. And actually I told Shani, could she be the devil for a couple of more days? She's a lot of fun as the devil. But be that as it may, the point is...
So how did this go? You are. You dress up as a black basketball player. You're wearing an afro. You're wearing blackface.
I had a
jersey
basketball in my hand, by the way, as well.
Right. So all of a sudden, I've seen the headlines today, Dov Hikind racist.
Oh, I haven't seen those headlines.
I've gotten some emails.
But people, people thought that it was not in good taste. Honestly, anyone who's offended by what I was wearing, I just want to tell those people that it was not meant to offend in any fashion. That is clear. Anyone who knows me for all the years that I've not only been in public office, but before that knows exactly where I'm coming from, and that the idea of doing anything to offend is the last thing that I want to do.
Dov, let me buttress that, because I know you for many years, and you and I have sat down, more so in years past than now, where we spoke about forging alliances between the black community and the Jewish community and the Chinese. So I can tell everybody right now that this was absolutely not a racist kind of thing. I know from years past where you look and you enjoy, and proud of your reputation of getting along with everybody, different ethnic groups, because I know you and I spoke about coalitions, of building coalitions.
Well, in fact, I was the one who created a coalition between 40 elected officials, 20 of them Jewish, 20 of them from the black community, standing up against racism and anti-Semitism. Not just being there for anti-Semitism, but if there's a racist incident, whether it's in Harlem, I stood with Senator Eric Adams in Harlem to speak out, and this is something that I created and did. But you know something? I don't want to, I don't, Baruch Hashem, thank God, I don't need to prove to anyone who I am. We had an amazing day yesterday. It was wonderful, all in the spirit of Purim and what Purim represents. And people know what Purim is. A lot of people don't know, by the way, Zev.
They don't, even in New York.
I got to tell you, the reporters that we had a press conference today where I spoke about this, and so many of the reporters did not know exactly what Purim is, unless you're in the heart of the Orthodox communities, the Haredi communities, where everyone gets dressed up. If you're in Manhattan and you're walking around yesterday on Purim, you don't see anything. You don't see very much. So it's a different world. And a lot of these reporters were asking elementary questions, basic questions about Purim.
In fact, I want to get that. One tell our audience, they don't know what it is. You didn't give them a drink.
Well, you know something? First of all, I invited all the reporters to come to my home next year. I said, the door's open, the sign will be there next year, Purim, you guys can come. But the point is... But
they're only going to come, Dov, if you get dressed again as a black basketball player with an afro.
Can I tell you, we're already working on next year. We're going to try to figure out not to offend anybody, if that's possible. If we can come up with something that won't offend anyone, we're going to try that. We're really going to work on that. But the point is that I was happy to have the opportunity to explain what Purim is all about, and they were listening. The reporters, even the reporter for the New York Times. I mean, it was so interesting to listen to the reaction of reporters who didn't understand what Purim signifies and what it is, all about. So, I first of all, I want to thank literally the nonstop phone calls that we've had of support from all over the place in terms of, myself. But I want to tell everybody, I don't need support. I'm fine. I'm cool. Mm-hmm. I am relaxed. It is.
Don't use the word cool. It could be misconstrued, though.
Well, listen. Being politically correct. We live in a society today where you got to bend over backwards to be careful what you say and what you do, especially in certain areas. And I accept that. That's fine.
That's part of that. I want to ask you about that.
By the way, Zev, I don't want to bend too much, to the point where I actually break. That's not something I want to do. The intentions were honorable. The intentions were respectful. Those who are, offended. Ladies and gentlemen out there, if you were offended, it was not meant to offend you, and that settles the issue as far as I'm concerned.
I want to hear what people have to say. Our numbers are 212-769-1925. What do you think about this whole brouhaha about Seligman Dov Hikind's Purim get-up, the Blackface get-up for Purim? 212-769-1925. You want to email us. It's zev@talklinecommunications.com. That's zev@talklinecommunications.com. Here's an email question before we break. And he goes, what does Dov think about Shelley Silver's unkind comments regarding the costume? Does Dov think perhaps Mr. Silver is making political points at Dov's expense? Dov.
Yeah, you're asking about Shelley's comments?
Yeah, that's what one of our listeners just wrote us.
Well, I haven't read them in their entirety yet. I have a lot of respect for Shelley. He and I spoke today. I had a conversation with him about exactly what this was all about, and I felt very good about the conversation. I haven't read his statements.
Versus Nice quotes are saying inappropriate and offensive. That's what the Versus Nice is.
Yeah, let me tell you, a lot of people have made statements. They're entitled to make those statements. The only thing I would hope that they do it with integrity, that they don't do it as a knee-jerk reaction to being politically correct. Those who know me and know where I come from and have worked with me and have stood with me on so many issues of anti-Semitism and racism, they know this has nothing to do with my wanting to be insensitive. So, again, I'm a person who, you're entitled to your opinion, you're entitled to your point of view, and I'm entitled to my point of view. So, I don't have much of an issue with people who do things on principle. It's those who do things for political expediency that are, that's another story. And there are those people out there who do things. This is a knee-jerk reaction, not because in their heart and soul they feel, okay, I want to make a statement.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people made statements today, and if you look at them, you can see the difference between many of them. The statements of Bill de Blasio, the statements of Bill Thompson, the statements, you can see the difference between those who have worked with me and know who I am and what I'm all about, and those who, just have to have a knee-jerk reaction. This is what's expected from them. This is what they're going to say. And you know what? I'm used to it. It's cool.
Nothing. We're going to, before break, let's take one call right now. Shimon Gifter is on the line with us, a photographer who was there videoed. You can see his video of us is nice. Shimon, thank you for joining us.
Hi. What I found very interesting was I interviewed a lot of African-American people today, and I asked them what they thought. And they had absolutely no issue. They said, listen, it's the holiday. It wasn't done to make fun of them and stuff like that. And I'm getting some tweets, some privately, some publicly, and the latest one, I guess, from an African-American person. So you're asking a few black and Latino teenagers whether they're okay with blackface. Of course they're going to say yes. I'm laughing because I don't tell people what to say when I interview them. They could speak their mind, whether it's pro or for. It's just I personally cannot find anyone that said, oh, yeah, this is outrageous. People understood it was Purim. They understood it was Dov Hikind. He didn't, mean anything bad. He wasn't making fun of anyone. And people didn't even realize, some of our own people, I used to say them in some community, were saying, oh, it's a problem because of Dov Hikind. I said, wait a minute, if someone else would have done it in some community, then it was okay. They said, yes. I said, I don't understand.
That's ridiculous.
If it's wrong, it's wrong.
Well, Zev, I think one of the most disappointing things for me is to have certain people in the Orthodox community who know what Purim is all about, and to lower themselves into the mud and say things that really that bothers me more than anything else. By the way, honestly, Zev, the whole hullabaloo today is I'm fine with it. We had a press conference. I responded to every question, and there weren't that many questions. And when it was all over, it was just fine with me. But when there are certain Jews who kowtow, who go into the mud just to curry favor with certain segments out there, that's pretty pathetic.
Can you give an? I'm not sure I would know who you're referring to. Are you willing to elaborate?
I think I'm not going to mention names, but I think people know. If you look at all the comments and the things, but I think what Mr. Gifter said is a very revealing thing. I didn't interview the people Mr. Gifter did. These were individual people in the black community who made comments and said, we don't have a problem. My point is, Zev, it was Purim. And anyone who knows what Purim represents and what we do on Purim, it's like no other holiday. And the way we get dressed up, from children and adults as well. And many people where, I have my face in black. Many people have done that through the years. And no one has ever thought of it in terms of a racial or racist message. And for certain people to turn it into that, certain people, is really very pathetic.
Jim, thank you.
Yeah, one more thing. Hello?
Yeah, quickly, we're going to break, yes.
Yeah, and many people were also telling me, I asked them if they dress up on Halloween as white people, and they said yes. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, one of the best-selling costumes, hold on, one of the best-selling costumes on Halloween is? Hasidic garb.
Oh, wow.
Did you know that?
I don't have
Okay, I'm just telling you a fact in New York City. Anyway, Shimon, thank you.
I would urge that not change. The people who want to be Hasidic on Halloween, go right ahead and be it. We're not going to be offended in our community.
Get up again, or wouldn't you?
No, I think, look, being where I am today, the day after Purim, and that there are those even, again, I don't know how many people are offended. We haven't done a poll. I know that a lot of people are reporting that, in fact, I just got a text that a lot of people are defending exactly what I did in different places, so on and so forth. But be that as it may, I don't want to hurt anyone, and so I think that if I had to do it all over again, I would look at other possibilities, maybe do something similar, but do it in a way that may be more acceptable. I'm not sure. Again, you see, I have a little difficulty because I know what my intentions were. I know what I represented and what I was doing, and the fact that it was Purim. I mean, part of it is also, Zev, is to educate the public, the people out there who are not familiar with Purim, what Purim is all about. If people understand...
Well, it's going to end education. It's going to be in all the papers tomorrow. We're unfortunately out of time.
Yeah, you know something? I'm very proud that I will contribute towards getting a better understanding of what Purim is all about, that it is something very unique and very special, and that when people do things on Purim, it's very interesting. I look at pictures today on VIN, which is a wonderful website, a wonderful, honest, sincere website, not with an agenda, straightforward, that they had pictures of Jewish kids dressed as Arabs, dressed as Palestinians. What do you think that was all about? What were they trying to demonstrate? What were they trying to show? It's all in the spirit of this very special holiday of Purim. And if people understand that, and people are a little less knee-jerk reacting to things, I think it would be healthier for everybody. But again, the bottom line question you're asking me, if I was doing it all over again, I would look at, additional alternatives, because my real objective is, it's not about being a black person or Indian, or maybe I would be a gay person on... By the way, would that be okay, Zev, if I played a gay person next year?
I think whatever storm you had this year, you're going to find people that may be gay, but they won't be happy with your costume if you do that.
So you think I'm in trouble if I do that? Okay, so, I have to look. Indians will be upset, gays will be upset.
Are you contemplating that for next year, though?
David Greenfield has this committee to decide how to spend money. Maybe I'll emulate what he's doing, Mr. Greenfield, and I'll bring a committee together of leaders to make sure I do next year the thing that's most appropriate. I hope I can actually come up with something.